Alright, someone had commented on one of my videos and said there weren't a lot of options in the new D&D. Now he was basing it off of the basic PDF, and he said there's only 4 options for classes, which actually isn't true because you do have sub-options as well. So there's a little more than 4 options with races. And there's more options with classes because of some things as well, I believe. I could be wrong, I haven't looked at the basic in a while because now that I got this. Now, in this book, and one of the things that makes it so awesome is that it's so simple, yet it has so many options. Normally when a game has a ton of options, it's overly complicated with how you do certain things or pick from these options. This book, like I said, tons of options. You pick a dwarf, there's multiple different dwarfs. You pick an elf, there's multiple types of elves. Halfling, there's 2 types of halflings. List goes on and on and on, you know. With classes, you pick a class, and then there's archetypes that you eventually pick. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're just a fighter. You pick a type of fighter. For fighters, for example, you can pick a style of fighter. And they do different things that aren't necessarily game-breaking or anything. They just change a little bit about your character. But the simplicity of this game comes from the fact that the advantage, disadvantage, and the proficiency. That's all the stuff you need to really remember. You don't get like these huge negatives for a bunch of things or a bunch of positives for different things. It's a pretty straightforward game, you know? In fact, we talked about it in our live chats recently, the fact that it's very fast-moving combat, so the combats don't bog games down for hours like before with other games and things like that. It's just an amazing game. I mean, there's no way to get around it. And the feats, there's only 40-some feats. Nerdarchy did a great video talking about it, so be sure to go check out their channel. But yeah, so the feats add extra flavor to your character too. So, and feats are an optional rule. You don't have to use feats. You can use stat upgrades. So, for instance, you could either choose, I think is it +2 to any attribute, or it's either +2 or +1, or you could pick a feat if you're using the optional rule. If you're not using the optional rule, you just bump your attribute. So, no longer do they have skill ranks. You're either proficient or you're not, and your proficiencies go up with higher levels. So you're either proficient or you're not. You do get your modifier from your attribute to it though. But it's just really smooth. Everything about this game is smooth. Back to the feats though. The feats give you added flavor. So you can take, no matter what class you are, you can take any of the feats pretty much. There are prerequisites for some. But you can be a fighter and take healer as a feat. And then you're basically able to almost act like a cleric. So you could take a feat instead of multi-classing. And that's something that Nerdarchy had discussed. You can also say you're a fighter who's really good in melee combat. You can take, distance type of deals to round your character out and become sweet with that as well. You could do, say you're a rogue, you could take there's a spellcaster thing that gives you a bunch of cantrips and I think a 1st level spell, which makes you pretty cool. And you're not multi-classing, you're just basically earning a feat. There's all sorts of ones. Heavy weapon, where you don't have, I don't remember how that one works, but that one I think was pretty cool when I read it. There's a bunch of cool ones. I think there's a dual wielding one. So you could use 2 weapons at the same time without having to use it. One is an offhand weapon, I think. Just awesome stuff. So anyways, a lot of good, fun options in this book. And, it's only going to get better, I think, through the Dungeon Master Guide. And, we'll see what happens. I don't ever imagine this getting to be like Pathfinder, where you just get books full of feats and craziness. I certainly hope not. I kind of like the simplicity of the game, and But like I said, the fact that it still has a lot of options is really nice. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out at a local game store. Just skim through it. Go to Barnes & Noble or something and just look at the book on the inside. See if it looks interesting to you. Again, it's an awesome game. It's really not comparable in my opinion to the previous games, whereas it has a feel like the old games a little bit. Like 2nd edition, 3rd, 3.5. I've never played 4th. But it has a feel like those, but it's so much smoother and streamlined and quicker, yet it still provides a lot of the same type of options without being difficult. And what I mean by that is, for example, you had so many different things, for example, we'll use Pathfinder. There's so many different things in Pathfinder, it takes forever sometimes to create a character or to level up. This doesn't. It's very simple, very easy. So, again, go look at it. I encourage you to pick it up. If you haven't, try creating a character with the basic PDF. See how quick it is. It shouldn't take you more than maybe a half hour. And I think, too, you'll start to get excited when you read how to use that character that you just made. So, yeah. Again, highly recommend 5th edition. Highly recommend it. It's slowly becoming the go-to game for me, and I'm really excited about it. So, with that, I'll end this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts, and if you disagree, I do want to hear why. What don't you like about this book and game? That I'm curious. I want to hear, because I know there are some people who, to this point, I think I've only met 3 people who weren't satisfied. And one of them is an online personality, which I haven't done my rebuttals yet to him. Another one was a guy who had just saw actually I think he just heard about the basic PDF having 4 races and then wrote off the book, wrote off the game. And yeah, that's really about it, I think. I'm sure there's others out there. But yeah, if you're one of those people who's not buying in yet, I want to know why. Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.